Thank you for joining me. I am Maggie, and what are we doing? We are doing a slow crawl through this beautiful book, Excuses Be Gone, by Dr. Wayne Dyer. And this book is important because it helps us to know how to change lifelong self-defeating thinking habits. Now, it's interesting. Every teacher has a different style. Take what works for you. If whatever doesn't, they'll, let it go into the universal flow. It'll help somebody else. But I miss Wayne Dyer, and I'm grateful for his teaching, and I'm sure many of you are too. Okay, so what we are doing, we are in part 1 of the book, identifying and removing habitual thinking, so that which doesn't serve you. We are in chapter 3, your excuse category. Okay, and we are on chapter excuse 18. Now, excuses be gone. Smash that like button, smash that subscribe, and leave your positivo comments. I would love to hear from you and love to know how this reading may be serving you. If you picked up anything that might be helping you, or I know a lot of you are helping others, so I'd love to hear from you. All right, so we're gonna get crack-a-lacking here. So 18 and the grand finale, because he did say 18. So here we go. 18 is, drum roll, I'm too scared. Again, turning to my email correspondence, here's what else they told me. I've always been afraid of being alone. I'm scared of failing, and I've been this way since I was a child. It's a scary world, and somebody could hurt me. It's true, though. You gotta be common sense show, right? You gotta have that, like he said, these are opportunities to strengthen ourselves, and I'm saying there's wisdom in every event of our lives. So I'm afraid something bad will happen to me or my family. I'm afraid that someone will yell at me, and I can't handle criticism. And I'm scared about being poor or losing my job and not being able to get another one. Clearly, fear is a biggie in this excuse catalog. And by no sense am I or Wayne Dyer or anybody belittling anybody who's going through these challenges. Guys, sometimes you gotta slow crawl, slow pull in fact, then a crawl to stand and then walk. Never ever give up. This is not a criticism, but you gotta sometimes look at where this excuse can be holding you back. Okay, so a way out of the I'm too scared thought pattern is offered in A Course of Miracles. In Miracles, I have a special love for this weighty tome and fear. I have a special love for this weighty tome that tells us there are only 2 emotions we can experience: love and fear. Anything that is love cannot be fear. The Bible says perfect love casts out all fear. And if you really go through your life and think about it, if you've ever experienced perfect love, and this is somebody who's very kind, loving, patient, unconditional, you have no fear. Like, you actually know, even if they're coming to you with hard criticism or something to improve, it's learner mindset. They're not trying to rip you apart. The perfect love casts out all fear. So may we all experience that. All right. I have a special love for this weighty tome and tells us there are only 2 emotions we can experience: love and fear. Anything that is love cannot be fear, and anything that is fear cannot be love. If we can find our way to stay in a space of love, particularly for ourselves, then fear is an impossibility. And it all starts with loving ourselves, right? Not this ego stuff. Like, if you don't love yourself, how you treat others is not going to be good. So I believe that fear is a mind virus that insists you either a success or a failure. And it's passed from one mind to another until it becomes a habit. From an early age, you're taught to feel, if I don't succeed at everything I attempt, then I'm a failure as a person, and I'm scared to death of having to live with such an awful label. A lot of us have also been taught that to be acceptable to our family, friends, etc., you have to be a certain thing. You have to be, you can't, for example, you can't be an artist or whatever. You need to be a doctor. You can't be a dancer. You need to be a nurse, like whatever. There's these harsh, oh, unless you have this kind of job, we won't acknowledge you. So, okay, labels, we're letting them go. We're letting them go. Let them go. So, this virus is passed on to you from other minds who bought into the same logic, because they were probably told the same crap, and they needed to, had to conform. There's lots of reasons. We can talk about that later. And it keeps on replicating, infiltrating, and spreading until it becomes a habitual way of responding. You think fearful thoughts, and then you use those same thoughts to explain the deficiencies of your life. You act as if they're really true, when in fact they're nothing more than excuses. Franklin D. Roosevelt's famous refrain from his first inaugural address, "The only thing that we have to fear is fear itself," was crafted from Thoreau's observation that nothing is so much to be feared as fear. Yeah, because if you're just staying with fear, a lot of times you're needlessly tormented, and a lot of times the scenarios that you're coming up, a large percentage of it doesn't come true. Now, I'm not saying that if you are under direct situations where you need to flight or fright or freeze or fall in or whatever you need to do, but I'm just saying, like, once we get through the trauma, we want to keep moving past it and rid ourselves of the excuses and barriers that are going to limit our potential. So, these Tao men had it right. There really is nothing to be afraid of. When you begin applying the excuses be gone paradigm, you'll find in part 3 of this book, neither I'm too scared nor any of the other excuses in the chapter will hold up. So, it's kind of funny, but many of these excuses he's covering were definitely excuses that I used before I started posting my videos and taking a chance to come forward in my channel. So I just want to thank you so much for supporting me and being here for me as I'm evolving and learning to give my gift to the world, and learning that even Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. That's another great book. But even though I'm scared, I'm going to step through that and keep coming. And so will you. So we're all witnessing my growth, and I'm going to be witnessing your growth. Okay, so here's a personal example. In the practice of Bikram yoga, which is a regular part of my life, there are 2 postures that require the practitioner to bend all the way over backwards and hold the posture for a period of 30 seconds or so. When I first started this practice, I feel fear welling up in me as I attempted to grab my heels from a kneeling position. I remember saying to my instructor, I just can't bend over backwards, and I feel as if I'm out of control. And in fact, I've never been able to do a backward dive into a swimming pool my entire life. I had a great meme going here which told me, going backwards is scary, you'll lose control, you won't be able to see where you're going, and you could fall, or you could really hurt yourself, and so forth. Oh, you think that's, try being a gymnast. But anyway, that's another story. Each of these explanations was an excuse that kept me from mastering these new poses. So my fear was rooted in my absence of trust in myself based on a lifetime of mind viruses. So did you catch that? His fear was rooted in absence and trust in himself. And a lot of the people I'm working with, that's what comes up a lot. We think it's others, people, but it's also learning to trust oneself. Okay, so when I shifted my mind from fear to love, however, a remarkable thing happened that freed me from the chains of this habitual thinking. I saw myself cradled in the arms of a loving presence. and then said something to myself that I never uttered before. Wayne, you can do these 2 exercises. You are a divine piece of the all-knowing intelligence. First, love yourself and trust in this wisdom, and then let go and let God. So guys, I'm just going to ask you to insert your name here. So, your name. So I'm Maggie, right? So your name, and I'm going to say my name. Maggie, you can do these exercises. I can do this YouTube channel. I am a divine piece of the all-knowing intelligence. First, love myself and trust in this wisdom, and then let go and let God. Okay, we can do that one more time. You insert your name, okay? So your name, my name. Maggie, you can do this YouTube channel or whatever you're doing. We are a divine piece of the all-knowing intelligence. First, love ourselves and trust in this wisdom, and then let go and let God. All right, Jay. By moving to love, fear was impossible. And 60 plus years of excuses making went out the window. So honestly, after that little prayer we did, I know a lot of people were released from all kinds of bondage just now. I would love to hear in the comments how so. But anyway, I'm coming out of my bondage, not thinking I could do this YouTube channel and public speaking and my healing work and just performing and being myself. Okay, today I enjoy demonstrating both the camel and the fixed firm postures for new students. Out of all 26 postures, these 2 give me the greatest sense of joy and accomplishment. As the saying goes, fear knocked on the door, love answered, and no one was there. Fear knocked on the door, love answered, and no one was there. Oh, guys, I just really love this time with you. I enjoy, it's like to learn, you got to teach, and to teach, you got to learn. So you provide me such a wonderful platform to be able to reach out with the gifts I have and the gifts you have, and for all of us to up level to our highest lives. So in tomorrow's video, we're going to do a little recap and an affirmation for each of these 18 excuses. So that's going to be fun. So while you're at it with excuses be gonzo, hit that like button now, hit that subscribe button now, share it with other like-minded people, and leave your positive comments. I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you so much for supporting me. All right. And you know what's next. Peace in.